Wow. Okay, hold up. So I didn't realize that you're like a guru with the cash flow. I love that. That is freaking awesome. So we are now live on LinkedIn and YouTube. And so you guys, y'all need to go connect with this lady right here, Kristen Kingsbury. She's going to help you to level up your cash flow, y'all. Can we get a big yay over there on Clubhouse and a round of applause for Kristen? That was fire.
Love you, friend.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Super excited. All right, guys, let me go ahead and reset the room over here on Clubhouse. Let's rock. Let's roll. Let's go. Cash flow. Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Trevor Houston, and this is Breakfast with Champions, the Millionaire Breakfast Club. And this is your opportunity to get a seat at the table with those going the places you know you can go and doing the things you know you can do. Now, we don't see this clubhouse divider with a stage on top and an audience down below. No. Instead, we look at this as the world's largest breakfast table, full of motivation, education, inspiration, and even a friendly competition with the positive intention of pushing your momentum in the right direction. Now listen, if you ever miss a segment, you can go download the Breakfast with Champions podcast to subscribe and listen anytime. So head on over to bwcdaily.com to grab the link and subscribe to the podcast. All right. So it's Monday, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. We're live on LinkedIn. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Clubhouse. We're just live. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty pumped up because last week was a pretty cool week. It was exciting. Okay. We did a lot of things last week, but one of the big highlights for me was I actually was featured on Channel 11 CBS News on the jobs report, right? So they do this thing called the jobs report, and it goes over, you know, what's going on in the economy and how is this affecting people and all that good stuff. And so I was excited because I was featured in the Who You Know show, was featured for the work that we're doing in the community. And what's even more exciting about that was it got to highlight a very good friend of mine, Mike Matarian. Shout out to you. Mike Matarian is somebody who is in transition. He's in the job search right now. And I got to meet him a couple of years ago when the pandemic first happened. And he was in the job search and was kind of going through a rough time. It was an extended search. And, you know, it was not looking too good, to be honest with you. It was really, really a long search, and he was dealing with a little bit of ageism and, you know, age discrimination and things like that. And so he found me, and we turned that ship around, and we were able to very, very quickly. He came through our Career Transition Summit, and we were able to, you know, rehumanize his job search, put the human element back in, get him noticed by employers. And you know, I showed him a lot of things in our summit, and quickly after that, he landed a career opportunity. So that was the good news. Now, fast forward a little bit, right? A couple years later, he finds himself back in the career search. And but this time, things are a little bit different. Okay. Things are a little bit different. So what I'm actually going to do for those that are watching online, I'm actually going to play that interview, the jobs report, Channel 11 News. So let's go ahead and play that clip right now.
A new jobs report that came out today had a little bit of optimism and had a little bit of caution as well. Experts say the economy remains strong, so in all likelihood, more interest rate hikes are probably coming as the Fed Reserve looks to curb inflation. But still, our Robbie Owens reporting tonight that there is good news if you're looking for work.
On Wall Street, economic reports are devoured as investors look to the numbers for clues.
Well, the report itself doesn't matter.
On Main Street, not so much.
And I'll tell you why. There's an old saying that a recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose your job.
Project management and IT professional Mike Materian may be out of work, but he's still full of humor and optimism. He's already got 3 job interviews lined up.
And each one of them came because the recruiter found me. It's not because I applied for something.
Okay, say that again.
Yes.
You're job hunting,
I'm job hunting.
but the recruiters are looking for you.
They're finding me.
Materian says he learned early in the pandemic to keep his online presence polished and never stop networking and building connections.
It's all about who you know. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Trevor Houston hosts a podcast dedicated to helping workers market themselves for the careers they want. He says headlines are deceiving, and the entire economic story is not all doom and gloom.
You know, you see Amazon laid off 10,000 people or whatever. That's a headline. You know, right now, actually, the labor market's actually pretty strong. It's actually very strong.
If you're looking for a job, go ahead and get a job, because, you know, it may not be this easy 6 months from now.
Good advice for those on both sides of the employment picture. Keep those skills fresh.
When most people get their job, they immediately stop and say, okay, this is great, I don't have to do anymore. But no, as I told Trevor when I got my job, I said, no, sir, I'm just getting started.
In Frisco, Robbie Owens, CBS 11 News.
So that was the news report featuring my man, Mike Materian. And listen, I got to tell you something. So I teach a lot of people in our Career Transition Summit, you know, how to get noticed and how to get out of the black hole, get their resume looked at, and, you know, how to put that human element back in. But let me tell you something about Mike. Mike takes action, okay? He just applies every single thing I tell him. Everything I tell this dude, he goes immediately and does it. And I just love that. He's like my best student ever. And so I'm going to tell all the companies that are out there looking at him right now, you better pick him up quickly, okay? Because this is the man that you want working for you. I promise you. He's an action taker. He's good with instructions. Like, this is the guy. Like, I know a lot of the negative stereotypes of an older worker. There's a lot of these negative stereotypes. He doesn't fit any of that. I promise you. This is the guy you want. All right? He's super wise, and he's got experience, and this is the guy. I'm telling you, you need to go get him before the other companies do. So just wanted to lay that out. But what I wanted to do today is really kind of go over an overview of what we discuss inside of our Career Transition Summit. Why are recruiters finding him? You heard him in that interview. He talked about that. He said the recruiters are finding me. He's not applying for jobs. They're finding him. And he's got a bunch of interviews lined up, which is amazing. Well, how is that happening? Well, he came through our Career Transition Summit, and there's a few things that we teach in there. And so what I decided to do is I thought, you know what, since how we're doing Clubhouse and Breakfast with Champions, what I'm actually going to be doing over the next 7 weeks is I'm going to do a deep dive, okay? Because in our summit, I go laser fast, okay? I go like it's like a fire hose of information, okay? But I'm going to go deep dive, okay? And over the next 7 weeks, we're going to be covering each and every one of the important pieces to our summit that's going to help you to get noticed by employers and to really have your phone ringing, okay? And that's what we want. So in week 1, we're going to dive into LinkedIn optimization, okay? Optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So for those of you that are on LinkedIn right now, I want to give some shout outs. Let's see who we got with us on the LinkedIn. Hold on, let me pull that up. I see Jason Hopper. Good morning to you. Who else do we got with us? And over here on Clubhouse too, because we're live on Clubhouse, we're live on YouTube, and this will also be on a replay for the podcast as well. So I see Dora, I see Orion, I see Chef Andy. Good to see you. But here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be going, Sherry Beach over there on LinkedIn. Good to see you. We're going to be going over a deep dive, okay, into all of the different items that we discuss in the Career Transition Summit, okay? So step 1 is LinkedIn optimization. You know, why is that important? Because so many people, they think that, you know, hey, I just need to have a LinkedIn profile, right? If I have a LinkedIn profile, I'm good to go. Well, actually, no, okay? We need to optimize it. We need to turn it into a landing page. Okay. Say what? A landing page? Yeah, a landing page. And that landing page is just like a website. It needs to clearly show the employer what problem that you solve for a company. Okay. Because each and every one of us, if you work for a company, you solve a problem. Okay. I want you to imagine what kind of fires that company is fighting. Okay. What kind of problems are there if your role doesn't exist? Right. What problem do you solve for the company? Okay. So we need to clearly show that. So we need to showcase that on your profile. And there's a lot of different things that we can do to optimize your profile. Turn it into a landing page, have clear calls to action to reel them in, because guess what? When that recruiter finally does look at you, okay, we need to convert those eyeballs into conversations, okay, into conversations. So that's week 1. We're going to talk about optimizing your LinkedIn profile. Week 2, we're going to talk about professional networking, guys. Networking. Your network is your net worth. You've probably heard that before. But listen, so many people, when we talk about networking, they don't even understand what the heck that means, right? They're like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to go get a bunch of business cards and like go to the groups and hand them out? And what, I don't know. And it gives me anxiety. And I'm kind of like, I don't even know what to do with this networking thing. Okay. How many of you feel that way? I want you over on Clubhouse. I'd like for you to put a 1 if you feel like I might need a little help with networking. Okay. Networking is maybe not your strong suit. Just go ahead and put a 1. Let's be honest with you. Over there on LinkedIn, let's do the same thing. Okay. On LinkedIn. If you need some help with your LinkedIn networking game, I'd like to hear from you. See, I see V over there. She says 1111111. V says 1111111. I love that. Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing week 2. Okay. We're going to talk about how to network, how to build value in others, because that's ultimately what it's about. Okay. So many people think networking is what I can get. No. It's what you can give. Okay. How much value can you provide to other people so that they just, the law of reciprocity, they want to help you back. Like that, it just will come back around. You reap what you sow. So go sow a good seed, and you will reap a good harvest. Okay. So we'll talk more about that. And there are some strategies. There are some strategies for online networking. So that's going to be week 2. Okay. Now, week 3, we're going to cover the algorithm, LinkedIn. Okay. Deep dive into LinkedIn. How many of you would like to learn more about LinkedIn? Okay. If that's you, put a 2 in the chat. If you want to learn more about the algorithm, how you can, there's nothing more frustrating than putting a piece of content out there. You post something and then it doesn't get seen. And you're like, I got 2 views. What's up with that? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Like if that's you, I want you to put a 2. So I see Richard over there. I see you. Let's see who we got over there on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, I got Edwine, I got Jason, I got Sherry. Sherry wants to know. She put a 2. I love that. Okay. So we're going to dive deep into that. Okay. That's going to be week 3 is understanding the algorithm. Week 4 is going to be creating content. Okay. Creating content. Why is that important? So even for those that are like going through the job search and I tell them you need to create content and they're like, I have to like do that? What do you mean? I thought I just needed to do my resume. No. No. We need to market ourselves. Okay. I'm sorry, but here's this thing. You're kind of like, I know this is a weird way to think of it, but you're for sale right now. Okay. You're on the market. You're marketing yourself. You've got to put yourself out there. Okay. And we got to get a company to buy you. They've got to buy your services. What do you do? What's the problem that you solve? And we have to think of it that way. And right now, you've probably heard that the job search is sales. Well, it is, but it's not just sales. It's marketing. We've got to market ourselves because otherwise you're just in that black hole. You're applying online and nothing happens. Okay. So we got to create content, but how do we do that? What's the easiest ways? What are some methods, right? How do we create a content machine? Okay. I don't want this to be difficult for you guys, right? It really doesn't have to be. right? Something as simple as what I'm doing right now, right? I'm teaching, okay? I'm educating. I am positioning myself as a thought leader because I know this subject. Each and every one of you that are in the job search, you have a profession, you have a subject that you know better than everyone else, whether that's, project management or accounting and finance or operations or whatever the heck it is that you do, you know your subject, right? So can we teach something long form and then just chop it up into a million little pieces? It doesn't have to be difficult. Okay. So I'm going to show you creating content. And I have this thing called the 7 C's to cash flow. Okay. The 7 C's to cash flow. All right. So it goes like this. Consistent content creates conversations that convert into careers and cash flow. All right, hold up. I'm gonna give myself a mic drop. Hold up, that's a mic drop. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm gonna say it again. Consistent content creates conversations that convert into careers and cash flow. All right, so if you want to learn more about that, okay, this is not just for those that are in career search, by the way. You want to know why this worked well for Mike Materian? Because he continued to do the things that I taught him. All right, I taught him these principles, and he continued to do them, even though he was working. Okay, and so what it did is it created this opportunity. He built momentum. Okay, and that's what each and every one of you need to do. And if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, this is for you too, because it will show you what to do and how to market your business. Okay, so that's week 4 is creating that content. Okay. Week 5, we're going to talk about engagement pods. Say what? Engagement pods. Now, engagement pods on LinkedIn. Okay. It gets a little bit of I don't know. People don't like them. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. Some of the creators. Okay. Now, actually, I'm not going to say people don't like them. There's a group of people who don't like them. They're against them because they're like, you're not doing it like organically or whatever. I don't know what they're basically think we're cheating, okay, if we're using an engagement pod. But let me tell you why I love engagement pods. Well, first of all, what is an engagement pod? An engagement pod is a group of people that, they're basically working together and engaging on each other's content, okay? And this gives you an organic boost on the platform because all of a sudden your post got 50, comments and 50 likes, and boom, all of a sudden, it gets showcased to your second and third connections, right? And this is sometimes how these posts go viral. So, but there is a group of folks that are like, you're cheating, you're cheating. And I'm like, no, I'm just working, I'm collaborating. Okay. It's called collaboration. This is actually networking. It's collaborating with people that are like-minded, and we're helping each other. What's wrong with that? And we're building relationships along the way. What is wrong with that? Okay. So anyways, I like engagement pods. They work very, very effective. And I have built some of the most strongest relationships through these pods that I was put into, and met complete strangers. And then all of a sudden we're collaborating and we're working together and we're helping each other. And next thing you know, I got a strong relationship. Like, guys, it just works. Okay. So anyways, I like engagement pods. If you'd like to know more about engagement pods, let's go ahead with a 3. I want you to just put a 3 in the chat. Okay. 3 in the chat if you want to learn more about that, because that is week 5. Now, week 6, we're going to talk about targeted, outbound, and inbound messaging. Okay. Targeted. Okay. Because here's the deal. We've got to have our messaging tight. Okay. And when we're reaching out, okay, because, I talked about earlier, the goal is to have eyeballs come to you. The goal is to have these recruiters or hiring managers or companies come into your profile, but we can't just sit around and wait for that. Okay. Because we can make that happen, but we can't sit around and wait. Okay. We got to go create. We got to create opportunity. And so how do you do that? It's outbound, right? I got to go out there and like knock on a few doors. You know what I'm saying? I got to get out there and like, hello, but I need to knock on the right doors. not just any door. We're not just going to spray and pray and put our information out there to the world. That's not what we're doing. Okay. We're going to be targeted. And so we need a targeted outbound messaging strategy to get the attention of the decision makers. Okay. We got to get their attention, and we got to get them to, to have a conversation with us. Okay. And so that's what I'm going to talk about in week 6. So if you want to, be targeted, and you want to be focused, and you want to quit the spray and pray, let me hear from you. Okay. Just give me a 4. Okay. Give me a 4 in the chat. Right now, last is week 7. Okay. And this one I'm real excited about. This is one of my favorites. Okay. Week 7, I'm going to dive deep into the job search Trojan horse. The job search Trojan horse. Now, what the heck is that? Okay. I was actually featured on Forbes for this strategy. Okay. It all started as a concept. Okay. Years and years and years ago, I adopted a technology inside of my company, separately and independently from who you know and what I do for job seekers and all of that. I'm also a licensed financial professional. Okay. So if you guys want more information on that, you can go visit clearpathwealthstrategies.com. But I adopted a technology into my company. And so I was using this technology that humanized my experience when I was working with clients. And it really brought the human element in, and it just worked so well. And I was like, man, this tool does such a great job that I'm going to teach it to the job seekers, because they're dealing with some of the same challenges, right? And so I started teaching this tool, and then all of a sudden, it was a concept. In the very beginning, I had to get people to do it, and that was challenging enough, right? Like I was like, hey, just trust me on this; it will work. Just trust me, it's gonna work. And a few people were like, I don't know, because it was very uncomfortable. And then finally, some people were like, all right, I'll test it. Nothing else is working, so I might as well test this. And then all of a sudden, holy smokes, we get the analytics, okay? Because it comes with some analytics, and it shows you the results. And boom, okay? So what this tool is, and we'll dive deeper in week 7, but the Trojan horse, okay? A lot of people, when they're following up after interviews, okay, the money's in the follow-up. Okay, the money is in the follow-up, and the company wants to know that you are following up. Okay, they want to know that you actually want the job. And so that's kind of like a test almost. They're like seeing, how are you going to do this, right? So all of a sudden, after these rounds of interviews, they get a whole bunch of emails come in, black and white text, thanks for the, time, and this, that, and the other. Well, a lot of those emails get, just deleted, right? I mean, imagine that. Imagine you got like 30 emails, a lot of them get deleted. A lot of them don't get read, all that kind of stuff. So what we taught was a video communication. It's a video email. Okay. And it's just a little short, and we'll dive deeper into this, but it's a little short, 45-second little video. Okay. Matter of fact, over there on Clubhouse, I know Grant Cardone comes in this room all the time in Clubhouse, and, Grant Cardone and the team over there, they won't even look at a resume. They will only look at a video. Okay. That's just the way they operate over there. So anyways, we're sending in, after the interview, we're sending in this little video and just saying, hey, thanks so much for the time. I appreciate it. I learned a lot about the culture and the company and in the opportunity, and I'm excited about it, and I can't wait to hear more. Thank you so much. I hope you have a phenomenal, blessed day. And if you need anything else, just, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Basically you're sending them a voicemail. Okay. That's all you're doing. It's a voicemail. If you can leave a voicemail on the phone, you can leave one of these video messages in an email. Okay. Now, why we call it the Trojan horse is because all of a sudden these emails go viral within the organization. Like within the company, it gets forwarded, boom, to one decision maker, to another decision maker, to the CEO. They're like wowed by it. And so on average, we see these emails get played 15 times, and you get the analytics of this. You think it's the same person watching your video 15 times? No, not happening. It's getting forwarded. So that's why we call it the Trojan horse, is because you literally infiltrate into the company, you get in, and then you just take over. Boom, just like the Trojan horse. Okay. And I was featured on Forbes for that because of the impact and how many people, are getting jobs from it. It's crazy. I see Dion Myers over there on LinkedIn. He says, video voicemails. Yes, learned that from you a while ago. Appreciate you, Dion. Appreciate you. Yeah. So we teach these strategies. So again, over the next 7 weeks, okay, we're going to do deep dives into each one of these sections. Again, week 1 is optimizing your profile, LinkedIn, okay? Super important. Week 2, professional networking, okay? How do we build value in others and trust so that they want to help us? What are some of the things that we can do? So that's step 2, professional networking. Step 3, understanding the algorithm, LinkedIn. Step 4, creating that content. Remember, consistent content creates conversations that convert into careers and cash flow, the 7 C's to cash flow, right? Week 5, engagement pods. We're going to cover that in detail. Week 6, targeted outbound messaging strategy. Okay, we're not going to wait. We're going to create opportunities. And then last but not least, the job search Trojan horse, closing the deal. Now, notice how everything that I'm talking about here, have I mentioned the resume one time yet? Have I even talked about the resume? No, heck no. Let me tell you why. Because that's just a formality, guys. The resume is just a piece of paper. It's a formality. Okay, I'm going to show you how to get that resume actually looked at. Because right now, you're going to apply online, and this thing is going to go into this little thing called the black hole. And this is what's going to happen to your resume. It's just going to go like this. And it's going to go into this little, trash can, the ATS, okay, the black hole, okay, and no one's going to see it. No one's going to see your resume. So listen, I'm not going to focus on that because you could go crazy thinking about, I got to do new keywords and I got to, do all this different stuff and tailor it to each job description. I'm not saying that stuff is bad. I'm just saying if you're doing all of that and you think that's the problem, that's not the problem. Okay. No matter what you're doing, I promise you, no one's seeing your resume. Okay. For those of you that have done your resume 32,000 times, my question to you is, did you get noticed? Did anybody call you? Did you get the job? Okay. If you're doing all of that and going crazy thinking that that's the problem, remember, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over, expecting a different result. So what I want to do is help you guys to get some results. So for those of you that are on Clubhouse, okay, the link is in the bio, link up above, right? Just go ahead and click the link. You can check out our Career Transition Summit. Okay. I would encourage you, if you're in transition right now, let's go. Okay. Let's go. Go ahead and get into our next session. Okay. There's a lot that we cover and I'm actually running out of time. I didn't have enough time today to go over the bonuses that you get. Okay. We got bonuses inside of our summit. So much stuff. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and get into the next summit. For those of you that are on LinkedIn or YouTube, in the description, you will find the link, okay? So I want you to go ahead and get registered for our next session. That way, what we're going to do is you're going to get the crash course, okay? You're going to get the crash course, and then over the next 7 weeks, okay, you can dive deep with me. I want to dive deep and really help you to get back to your cash flow, all right? So, guys, that's the show. It's all about who you know. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Who You Know Show podcast. My name is Trevor Houston, and if you've enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing wherever you listen and leave us a positive review to help us keep the mics on in the studio. Until next week, that's the show. It's all about who you know.